1984. A year I genuinely believe to be one of the best in film history. So many classics from the 80s came out that year. Ghostbusters, The Terminator, Beverly Hills Cop, Gremlins, Karate Kid, Spinal Tap, Footloose, 16 Candles, Firestarter, Purple Rain, The Neverending Story, and Streets of Fire. While some of those films left their mark on film history, none of them have revolutionized horror the way that this film has. This film pushed the boundaries of horror and made it more psychological, made it more unpredictable, and most importantly, tried something new within the genre of horror. The film I'm talking about, of course, is A Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the best horror movies ever made. Period. There's no denying the influence that this movie has had on the horror genre. So what can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said countless times before? Nearly everything about this movie is great, but where this movie really shines is when one of the most iconic horror and film characters of all time is on screen. Of course, I'm talking about Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund is a mastermind when it comes to playing Freddy Krueger. Even in later installments, when the series took a more campy horror comedy approach and really started to suck, the best part about those movies was Engold's performance as Freddy. In A Nightmare on Elm Street, he was terrifying. Sure, he told some solid jokes throughout the movie, but this was before we got all those campy dream sequences that littered the later entries. He plays Freddy like the psychopathic child murderer Freddy is. The jokes were a nice touch, because they brought you closer to the character. Other slasher movies around this time didn't let you sympathize with their murderers. Sure, and Freddy also arguably has the most interesting and scariest way of killing people. This dude goes into your dreams, creates the thing that you fear the most, and kills you with it. How scary is that shit? Imagine your biggest fear coming at you like Cleopatra, and you could do nothing but run away knowing that running's futile anyway. Unless you wake up. You're Dunyan rings, man. Whereas Jason and Michael just kill you with conventional weapons, Freddy kills you in your mind. Scary stuff, my guy. Besides Freddy being great as always, Wes Craven's direction is not to be overlooked. He directs the shit out of this movie, and it especially shows when the dream sequences are happening, specifically the dream sequence with the high school. Wes Craven knows how to make you shit your pants when he wants to, and with this sequence, he knows what he's doing. He makes the kills interesting and fun to watch, like one of the most famous scenes in the movie where Johnny Depp gets sucked into a vortex and blood comes rocketing out of his bed into the ceiling. The cinematography, sound design, and music are all great too, especially during the dream sequences. As for stuff I don't like, there's really only one thing. The movie plays the classic trope of adults not believing some malicious shit is going down in the town until it's too late. The worst example of this is when Nancy wakes up from a coma in the hospital with Freddy's hat in her hands. No one knows how it got there, yet they still don't believe that there's someone killing people in the town. Yeah, alright. Overall, A Nightmare on Elm Street is a classic. It's one of the greatest horror movies ever made. The fact that it tried something new in horror and pulled it off so well is not an easy feat to accomplish. It had to be commended for being a movie that pushed boundaries and really fucked with the audience's perceptions of what's real and what isn't. Horror movies today lack those kind of thematics, with the exception of a rare few. A Nightmare on Elm Street is an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it, and don't go to sleep afterwards. I'm DeGe, and this is the Cinema Dash. Thanks for watching, everybody.